these 18 heavies are dedicated to Southeast Asia. I should be able to mop up with them. These galleys I would get rid of, and I would be saving lots of money. And I could even open that up. I could do the exchange galleys for lights. Lights take fewer sailors and they're more versatile. It's a consideration. That's a lot of sailors to get back as well, and I do need them. Can a single galley win against a single heavy in an inland sea with equal morale? No, my money would be on the heavy. The heavy just has so much more hull. Alright, I'm gonna make this pretty ballsy investment into sailors and de-investment into galleys. Gashunk, 5 grand in the sailors' bank. Far fewer galleys. But since I was able to crush Pasai and friends on the seas here, I'm quite confident that I can make it all come together just by using Hadrian and his incredible fleet. Galleons and a war galleon. Did I see a Kadak? I saw a number of Kadaks. I don't like that. I'm not here to have rubbish ships. The difference between Kadak and galleon, pretty significant. That's 10 extra cannons, a whole lot more hull. So you're going to take a lot more damage without dealing quite as much back to them. So I'll get rid of you. That saves me almost over a ducat a month. And gets me a bunch of sailors back. Wasn't there another one? If there was, it's evaded me for now. Okay. The Brits. The Brits are the ones that die today. 5 galleys. I think 3 galleys would win an inland fight because they would outnumber them. And then they'd have better engagement. Denmark is sowing discontent. Oh, bastards. Well, I'm sowing discontent in the British army by slaughtering them, all whilst smelling of awful gyros. Which I don't think's winning me any favours with people. There's his heavies. His heavies are on the march. That's fine. I will take that fight, and I will be reinforcing it with you. Try your luck in the Straits of Dover. I know your heavies are good, but trust me, my lights are expendable. Your heavies are all you have left. It's probably running to Norfolk, which is fine. This isn't fine. I missed an Irish province. How could I ever pass up on destroying the Irish? Oh, wow. Okay, he decided to fight us there, and that worked very much against him. I also missed some raiding opportunity. I stole his heavy, and it's a galleon, granted, but I want to just scuttle that for now. You guys just chill out in over here, in fact, because the Ditmarshani still have a fleet. The British I'm less concerned about, so just send you guys over there. There we go, then I have eyes on everything. Where's he going? If he's going through Rumden, he's not heading to Kent, is he? No, he's going to Norfolk, fair enough. Scarborough. Not a province that you should ever really think about, but it was there in Patrician 4, and it's here in EU 4. Did I ever cancel that? Yeah, I cancelled my fleet basing rights. But Kiewa still love me, which is awesome. I wonder if the Russians love me. Oh, they do. Hopefully the Russians will someday intervene in a war in my favour, because I certainly don't have great power allies on my side. Might just leave Desmond like that, bring these troopers back over to Britain for any rounding up. Manpower's not looking good. It's looking pretty deficitical. Jake, what's the best way to suggest a game for you to check out? Depends on what context you want me to check it out. I do weekly one-shots all the time, but the best way to get my attention in general is just to go onto the Discord Ping me there. I'm there pretty much 24/7. Same with here in this chat, but the messages on the chat often just fade into the ether. And I don't check my logs as rigorously as I used to. So yes, I would highly recommend the Discord for that. Well, this is all going swimmingly. The British are such a shadow of their former selves right now. Let's keep Norfolk under lock and key, as I keep saying in this campaign. God, Zulfgar's on the lights? That must have been a mistake. Where are my heavies then? Oh, that's right, I sent them over here. There you go, Zulf. Make sure that Marshani, no true fear. I'll never get that money out of them, not with blockades alone. If you end up at peace, could you charter a piece of Madagascar to Sri Lanka? I will not end up at peace in all likelihood, unless the sailor situation becomes harrowing. That's not going to happen. Oh my, I did not expect the British to rise up here. Gaelic separatists came back for more, probably because I had that that discontent sowed in my nation. Just something I'm just going to have to live with. That's a lot of Gaelic separatists. I could just chase them over to Britain and leave them there, because they probably would head over there at some point. And then they would break away from Britain. Alright, it's a bit painful because they're going to spread stuff here, but I'll let them go over here, because they should spread within Highlander culture. Slight problem though is the British are trying to raise a small army here, so I should just stop them dead in their tracks. Well, there's a whole lot of not much to worry about here. This is good. This is very good. Chase down the last of them. No, not the cannons, just the regular Joes, please. It always gets asked, how am I giving out these orders? Press V, it dismisses the lowest down unit on your list. And it's a very useful tool. Can you substitute your mercenaries for army men? Isn't that cheaper? Cheaper, yes, but my manpower has suffered for a very long time now, so I can't put further strain on it right now. Goodbye, Cornish. One of the top blokes I know, he's a corn. Dang, no, I should keep you together. Always get your 10s to 1s. Even in grim situations like this, in terms of manpower, it saves me just a little bit. Leave the one guy here. Send the cannons to Norfolk. And we're all good. There we go. The Brits should have nothing to answer me with here. Is what I say, but they do have a little bit of a colonial empire going for them. They got this. These were occupado earlier on, now they are not. Otherwise they got bits and bobs here and there, but I'm not worried about it. I have their main area, so there's not a lot they can do against me. There's not much point in sending my spy against him. One of the things I loved about Rule Britannia, we added a lot of more distinguishable names for Great Britain. And it all comes tumbling down for you, Great Britain. Hopefully these guys don't go for Inverness, but wherever they go I can dance around them. Because I want to chase them off to England and then leave them there. I can keep them permanently locked down there by having my ships in place, but I just absolutely do not want to fight against them, because that's going to cost me money and manpower that I simply can't spare at this time. So cannons lead the charge over there. I'm probably not even going to bother taking Desmond, it's just not worth the investment. And everybody else can just get together in Rumden for now. place to be. Those northern Great British Islands aren't yet occupied. There is Orkney to slightly consider. I'll take it now so they don't have a chance to get to me. Otherwise... Okay, so you're going for Argyll then. Then go to Sutherland, Inverness, Aberdeen. I won't even chase these guys away. I'm just going to work my way around. The Ottomans suddenly want peace. They would even pay me all the money that I demand. The question is, do I want to do that? The answer is not really, because they would just declare war on me again. But that is a lot of money, and I would free up so much of my navy. But I know that they would attack me again in the future. Still, I get a pretty swell deal out of this. But I only get 8.5 years of peace out of it, and I know they'll attack me. I just know it. But in terms of making my sailors back, it is an option. We pull them all back, we enjoy the money. And I'll be able to privateer him again. Jake, liberate the home islands. We have the home islands. There's nothing to liberate here. All I could possibly do is make him give up his claim on Naxos. But it's not even a permanent claim. He just makes it and makes it again. They would organize against you. They would, but I've been able to grow during this time. He has not. I still have all my galleys and naval ideas. He does not. I'm actually warming to the idea of making peace with the Otto friend. The Spaniards don't want peace, that much is for certain, and I don't think I want peace with the Spaniards, because they would pull in Portugal on round 2. And I have the Spaniards in relative lockdown, which is okay. What about Corfu, Lesbos, Cyprus? Did I ever hold these? I don't seem to recall ever holding these. Tell me, did I? Occupied by Naxos? Occupied? No. And there's no real reason for me to do so unless I want my fellow Gyros breaths around here, which I don't. The Ottomans only grew. Jake sold them out. I have no memory of this. Might have happened, but I have no memory of this. It's quite tempting to make the peace deal because I can pull back and make a lot of money from just ravaging his trade node here with light ships that I don't have. Very tempting. Did you forget the great sale of Hungarian land? Right, let's look this over, right? I think the history books will tell of the time that the Hungarians bravely yet foolishly fought the Ottomans and lost land accordingly. Who would give up such awful, awful strings of land like that? Yeah, no, it was Austria's fault, really. Okay, I am seriously considering this. It's a good deal for me. It's only 8.5 years of peace with the Otto friends, but that's 8.5 years that will include our conquest of Japan and Britain without having to worry about Ottoman reprisals. Not only that, but if I feel like taking on the Portuguese, and I mean, who doesn't want to take on the Portuguese? It would be an option. They have a lot of Catholic land for me, you see. Not that it matters, I couldn't take that, it's not on an island. That single unconnected Austrian fort. Yeah. Nobody else fights the Ottomans, though. Do the Ottomans have any land that I would want? Have they been colonizing at all? I don't think so. They've been too busy being at war with me to consider such options. Alright, I think it's a... I ask, why not make peace? Sure, they'll be back in 8 years, but is that worse than being at war continuously during those 8 years? I make decent money off of having them here, but I need those sailors regained, so yeah, I think we'll take the peace. That was a lot of... man, how did I lose troops and all that? Don't you forget it, Ottomans, that was a generous peace offer. Still gonna leave... Well, really, most of my galleys should be dedicated to defending Venice. It's not our capital, sure, but it's still a great place to hold on to. Otherwise, the rest of you get to Crete for reconciliation. You guys remain in Venice in case the Spanish have anything planned for me. Alright, that gave us a healthy amount of money. I'm actually going to pay down the inflation that I got out of all that, because, you know, inflation kind of burns me a bit. And would you look at that, we're actually enjoying a surplus. We haven't had this since we moved our capital to Venice. Now I can double down on the destruction of Spain, which I'm sure everybody and their grandma has been wanting. There's also the question of Sardinia. I would like that island. It would let me project my power further around here. Didn't Tunis used to cause me trouble around here? Sadly, you're allied with the Austrians, but at some point, you-know-who is going to you-know-what you. And if I get my tech up, I'll be able to war against the world you. So we've got that going for us. Lovely, that frees us up a lot, and it gives us oodles of dosh to spend on, I don't know what, but probably down the line, furnaces. Adam Whitelaw, I hate to say it, but you're just not cutting the mustard. I think I'm going to fire you, so I can actually be within my leader limit for once. Okay, and with all these galleys of mine no longer spending their time blockading, I make a surplus on sailors. That is good news for me. It's finally some good news for me. Let's get ourselves some yearly army tradition, because we kind of lack that these days. The next techs aren't super important until 21, I believe, although infantry fire is pretty awesome. Is this a stable Naxos? It is a strong and stable Naxos. Level 2 trade efficiency guide, but I don't do trade, like at all. Could actually involve myself in having better advisors as well, if I thought that was worth anybody's time. Gonna have you guys down here so that we're able to... Hang on, did that say Scottish? Yeah, of course that's Scottish. But you are Gaelic, so you're more interested in Highland culture, which Aberdeen is not. Aberdeen was sufficiently anglicised at this point. Norfolk's down, but I want these guys chased over to these islands before I peace out, and then I'm going to lock them down there, and that will amuse me greatly. Greatly. Man, that's a nice surplus to have on the sailor front. And I have a lot of lights around here that I really need to get on destroying the Ottomans with piracy, because they are made of money for that. And with no longer having a risk here, I can actually do Alexandria as well. Now, about all these galleys. Galleots are good, galleass not so much. How do I use you, though? How do I use and abuse you? They're the Spanish here. We know my feelings towards them. I could keep them under blockade. I can't reach too far with that, though. But you know, if I did peace out the Spaniards, it's not like they are lacking money to give me. But being at war with Spain gives a certain stability, because if I give Spain a chance to rebuild their heavies, then unlike the Ottomans, that would be a global effect, and I'd have to hunt them down, and it would just generally be a pain in my rear end, so I don't want that. I'm going to take these guys, and I'm going to deposit fleets around here to take care of what I can. And I would like a whole lot more lights around here to help with that, because that's one of the most lucrative places to be bamboozling my friend. Kind of lacking in lights, probably because I got a lot of them destroyed. Let's get you guys together in Devon and sort you out accordingly. You're still privateering the English Channel, which is fine because it's still good dosh there. Whew. Who are your allies in these wars? The only ally I have is Korea, and that's because I wanted to subjugate Korea. I still want to subjugate Korea, but they're stuck in this war with the Spaniards. I should improve my relations a bit more with them while I can. But once they're peaced out with the Spaniards, that I hope they do someday, I will subjugate them. Alright, this is all done quite clinically. Get back to Scotland. As soon as these guys are over on these islands, all the better for me. And please go privateering in Constantinople. That's where the money is. Hi Jake, good to see you streaming EU4. It is pretty good to be streaming EU4, I'll tell you that much. Unfortunately, we have a raid right now, and those that decide to take part in typical raid activities are going to find themselves eating sword. Which is fine by me, probably not so fine for you. Okay, I would quite like you folks getting down here so I can stop the Scottish from revolting now. Yeah, this is the Naxos run from before. We shelved it a few days ago, but we're back to doing what we do. Hello, Spaniards! Deciding that they can't take me on anywhere else, they think that they now want to take me on in Japan. It's a minor concern. Japan's going to have to fall soon, but that's still 5 years away. Do I have any other truces that are closer? I do not, so Japan is next on the menu, and it'll be purely reconquest for Yamana. Once I get that, I'll... Oh, you dirty bugger, Manchu. Manchu decided that they wanted to take a little bite out as well, and they took a Yamanan core. And a silky one at that. No fun allowed, correct. The Ottomans are going to take on what's left of Akyunlu now. Poor Akyunlu. I guess I gave this to them. Right, let's go and deposit enough of a blockade against the Spaniards. Any plan on taking the Canaries or the Balearic Islands? Not really. Little islands here and there, unless they unlock new raiding potential for me, are not really worth it. I need to think strategically about what I take. And strategically, I need stuff that gives me loads of money united. I guess that sowing discontent isn't helping me out much here, but we'll do what we can do. Whew. Angola famine. Not much I can do there. Just carry on. Jake, you get raided and you don't even say thanks. I mean, given the chat activities that brings with it, I don't see a lot of plus side. It's a cancer-free zone. Please leave your cancerous memes at the door. Yeah, essentially, this place is intended to be an oasis. An oasis from the sewage that is typical Twitch culture, and that's how we're keeping it. Alright, let's do our best to not have any of this. Hopefully that'll stop the Scottish from rising up. I really don't see the Spaniards as somebody that I'll be having peace with anytime soon, because of what I mentioned before. It's just such a pain to deal with when I end up in a fresh war with them, because they'll be fresh, revitalized, their fleets will be up to par, and since it's very hard, they will not have much of a problem doing that. Ooh. Seems they decided to punch a bit harder this time. Then do I upgrade you to be a bit stronger? And the answer is yes. 1, 2, 3. And that brings you up to 9,000. They have cannons though. Not too happy about that, but... Goodbye manpower. I knew you once. It's alright, it's not like we burn a lot of manpower right now. Our wars are fought on sea, not on land. I decreased autonomy on Britain. That doesn't feel like something I would ever do, but hard to deny with the facts there. There's Baton. Still would quite like to claim Ternate and take them over because their lands are good. Allied with the Mamluks, but my hope is that the Ottomans will eventually crush the Mamluks further, giving me more coastline to blockade them over time. Could certainly trash these guys a bit more. I want to make more of a fleet. I know I just got some of my sailors back, but these frigates will go a long way. A long way to paying me back. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. They're not that expensive on sailors, so I'm not too bothered. Has you back to Scots yet? Asks Ryu Nage. Not sure what you're getting at there, but I'm not in Scotland. I am in Stockholm, Sweden. Okay, that's good enough to keep the Spaniards under blockade here. We'll keep it that way. The Ottomans finally engaging in diplomacy. I'm finally enjoying a bit of dosh. Oh, okay, no, that's nothing to be worried about. The Spaniards are just jotting about, probably trying to make isolated occupations of my land, but that's what I have my mercenary army and my my transports over there for, so that's okay. That's what we're looking for, and the Gaelic separatists are making their way over. Not so happy with the Spaniards doing what they do over there. Okay, what'll I do to keep you under wraps? Well, I could probably peace out with the British, that would be a good start. These guys actually didn't go down to help with the privateering, and I want them to, so let's have them head over. And the heavies that I kept around here, I'll have those keep you in check there, but until then I'll have you take care of it. Oh, right, they were heading over to Sutherland. Okay, well, I'll hold off on that thought then. Ooh. One question before I head out. Who formed Italy? Ferrara did it on their own, and they did an incredible job of it. Yeah, we'll just run the quick timeline for the people that joined, and quite a few people did join. On that note, welcome. It's Pirate Naxos. The goal is to have more than 50% pirate trade power in all coastal nodes, and we're only allowed to take islands. It's playing it on very hard mode, and we started on Naxos and everything that implies. It's been really rough. We constantly get attacked by the Ottomans and Spain and just about anyone who thinks they can take us, which is everybody, because our army is small and terrible. Our fleet is big and badass, but it can't be everywhere at once. And there we go, Portugal. Probably going to think they can take us soon as well. This patch was started on the 128, but it's now being played on 129. And it's working just fine. I made a backup just in case, but, you know, we do test these. That's a clean Italy formation, thanks. Have a good day. Oh, you too, Schubert 1312. Okay, dang those British stopping those rebels going over and destroying their lands. How dare they do that? I'm going to crush them for it. And then get back to crushing our friends in Dithmarschen. Hopefully that doesn't give Dithmarschen the ability to sneak away that they probably want. As expected, they're rising up in Aberdeen as well, but those ones I'm going to have to face down against. I'll go and face them in Lothian, at least that way they have to come to me. And they will come to me. I love the way Jake says Dithmarschen. Oh, what else he meant to say? Is this going to be like when Docteur told me how to pronounce some words? Because that didn't work out well for him. He ended up only more agitated. What a shame for him. Alright, continue on with the Roman Catholicization of Japan. Unlike the other places, I can't just stick it in a trade company and be done with it, so I want the conversions done and done right. Any future plans for FTL Season 3? New Year's in 2 months. Not currently, but... look who's back again! The British decided to arrive. I will still want to peace out with them real soon, but if they're not open to my terms, then we're going to have to slug it out a bit more. I want these areas in their fullness. Okay, maybe not if I'm cheesing off that many people. For some reason, nobody really likes me around here. Can't put my finger on it, but I'm not popular. I certainly don't want France in that coalition. That said, I don't want to just stick to rubbish lands, but I need coastline.